What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the podcast. This is the first episode of season 4, and I'm so excited because this year is going to be honestly full of surprises for me, and also it's going to be a growth spurt for me because I have a lot planned for this year. I have a lot planned for this podcast in general, and just a lot planned for my life this year. But I believe that God has something in store for this podcast and for my YouTube channel and just for my online ministry in general this year. And I'm really excited for it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know there's going to be a lot of growth from it. And, with growth comes a lot of growth pains, but also it'll be something that we can look back on at the end of this year. When we do our year-end recap, I am just believing and I'm receiving already that there's going to be a lot of testimonies that are going to come out of this podcast and from a lot of different people and also from myself. So, in with the studio today, I have Steph. She's joining me on kind of on behind the scenes in general. Pop on camera really quick.
Hi guys.
This is Steph. She also goes with me to Hungry Gen, and for the longest time I thought she was an intern, but she's not.
But I'm not, and I have never been.
She just hangs out a lot with the interns, but so she's going to be joining me behind the scenes, and she's also going to be helping me this year in a lot of ways, but she's going to help grow this podcast.
Yep.
It's a learning curve for both of us.
Yeah, there might be some technical difficulties here and there, but
she's going to help smooth out those technical difficulties.
Yeah, we'll learn it.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of things that's going to go into this podcast. There's some people that I look up to in the YouTube community, in the Christian YouTube community. Two of them that come to mind is Ruslan, KD, on YouTube, and also Isaiah Salabar. And how they do their podcast and how they do their live streams is just honestly mind-boggling. If you've ever watched their channel, if you ever watched any of their live streams and kind of analyze what goes into their live streams, is just crazy. And I'm not saying I want to get that complex, but I do want to, be able to have different images on my live stream. I want to play different videos. I want to be able to do reactions, and in order to do that, I am going to need some behind the scenes help, and that's what Steph is here to do and help me out with. So I'm really excited about that. Well, guys, without further ado, I'm going to go into today's topic. I was kind of shuffling around my brain what I should talk on today. And the first thing that came to mind was the whole new year, new me thing is kind of just old school. It's overdone, it's overplayed. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to think of what to do, of the topic I should do for the new year and to kick off the podcast with. And the first thing that came to mind was selflessness. How to be more selfless and less selfish. And so I came up with a few talking points that I have here on my notes to talk about. And so just let's dive into it. I think the first step to being to practicing selflessness and to be less selfish is to practice being self-aware. I think we get so caught up in the hustle and the bustle of the new year, of trying to figure out what we need to do, of how we should grow ourselves. What are the goals I should plan for this new year? What are the we get so busy and we end up honestly losing sight of what it means to start off the new year right and on the right foot. And I think practicing self-awareness would help us center ourselves and put us back on the right track. And I know this first point is a little bit counterintuitive, is a little bit of an oxymoron, right? Because I'm saying, oh, we should practice selflessness and not selfishness. And yet the first thing that I'm going to talk about is being more self-aware. Let me dive deep into this real quick. In Matthew 22:39, it says, "And the second commandment is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself." This commandment that God gives us, that Jesus gave us in the Gospels, is not just a command to be selfless, but also to be self-aware. Why is it also a commandment to be self-aware? Because I think the first step to becoming more selfless is to become more self-aware, to realize more things about ourselves so that we can help ourselves help others. When you are more self-aware, you notice what you are lacking, and you also know what you are being more prosperous in your life. You know, you notice what maybe is sickening or devaluing your life when you look deep within yourself and you kind of self-analyze how your life is in this moment. And you also realize, what are the things that are going for you? You know, what are the things that are adding value to your life? What are the things that you're doing right now that is helping you move forward? And also, what are the things that are helping you help others? The golden rule, I think all of us know, is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I think when we are selfish and we are more self-centered, we tend to lose sight of how we treat others and how others treat us. Another way of being self-aware is analyzing about yourself how you treat others. Are you treating others in a selfish way? Are you treating others are you treating others mean, in a mean way? Are you treating others in a devaluing way? Or are you treating others in a positive way? Are you treating others the way that you want to be treated? And that goes into the next thing is, how are people treating you, right? Are people treating you the way that you want them to treat you? I think a good way to analyze how you value yourself and how you respect yourself is how other people are treating you. If you don't have self-value and you don't have self-respect, others are going to treat you as such for the most part. Unless they're totally humble and totally self-in tune with themselves, that they know how to treat people properly, and then they'll treat you the right way. But you surround yourself with the people that you are also like. And so if you are mean, if your nature is just mean, if your personality is mean, you're going to attract others in your friend circle that are also like that towards other people. If you value yourself and you are kind to others, you are going to attract people in your inner circle, your friends, that are also the same way. What you value in yourself, you should also look for in other people. If you end up building friendships with people that don't value themselves, that's going to leak into your own personal life, and you're going to start devaluing yourself. If you end up building friendships with people that don't respect others and love others, you are naturally going to start manifesting those certain personality traits in your daily walk, in your daily life as well. So I think the first step to being more selfless and more aware of other people's needs and wants over yourself is being more self-aware. The next thing is to practice empathy. And I know I've already forgot to put the lower thirds on my thing, which is why we were just talking about this over coffee, just like literally 2 hours ago. And I was like, Steph, I am going to forget to put up the graphics for my own live stream tonight, and that's why I'm going to need you in future episodes when I want graphics, because she'll remember and I will. So that's one of the reasons I'm having Steph help me here. But the second one is to practice empathy. Philosophical thinkers like Smith and Hume highlighted the importance of empathy in moral development. By actively practicing empathy, individuals can break down barriers and connect with the needs of those around them. And I think a good word to summarize what I just said is vulnerability. By actively breaking down barriers, your own barriers, and being able to connect with the needs of other people, and also helping them break down their barriers to be able to allow you into their lives, and breaking down your own barriers to allow other people into your life, brings about the opportunity to connect with the needs of those people, and them to be able to connect with the needs of yourself. So when we practice selflessness, we need to be able to break down those walls of that people may have built up over the years. Like, for example, when you go and I've had several situations where I've had to make conversation with people who are homeless, and like when I'm doing outreach ministry with the homeless or the needy, and striking up conversations with some of these people can be hard sometimes. And the reason why is because they have a lot of walls built up that are made of regret, that are made of hurt and trauma from the past, and they've built up this they've built up a lot of, how would you say, like, they've built up walls to guard themselves from future hurt and from future letdown. And so, sitting down with some of these people and striking up conversation is really hard, because you have to try and get to the root. You have to try and get to the heart of the matter, so that when you're ministering to these people, you're not only trying to get to a place where you can offer them the things that they need, and help them get to a place where they can receive those things openly. But in order to minister the gospel properly, you have to break down those barriers to where you can get to the root of their trauma. You can get to the root of their of their inner problem that got them to the place where they are in the first place, so that you can minister the gospel, and you can minister more than just food and money. You can also minister to them the love of the gospel, the peace, and the comfort that Jesus has to offer them, which sometimes it takes a little bit more wall breaking than it does to get them to a place of receiving the necessities, food, shelter, all that stuff. So practice empathy. Being able to step into their shoes and to try and put yourself in their place so you can try and understand them more. Being understanding and being more understanding of their situation helps them lessen their walls and break down their walls so that you can effectively minister the gospel to them easier. The third point and the third practice that I think we should practice in selflessness is practicing good virtues. Thinkers like Seneca, I forgot how to pronounce this, but Epictetus, or I don't know, and Marcus Aurelius emphasize virtues such as kindness, compassion, and justice. Something similar in the Bible and the teachings of Jesus and Paul, the apostle, in Philippians 4:8, it says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is worthy of respect, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if something is excellent or praiseworthy, think of these things." I'm going to raise you one more. Reword or replace the word think and put the word do. If something is excellent or praiseworthy, do these things. Practice commendable things. Practice whatever is lovely. Practice whatever is pure. Practice whatever is just, and practice whatever is worthy of respect. Practicing good virtues help us look more outward and look less inward. Practicing good virtues allows us to practice on other people and not just, be selfish and not be virtuous towards other people. The fourth point is practice generosity. Practicing generosity removes the need for self. In Proverbs 11:24 through 25, it says this: "One gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give, and only suffers want. Whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered." So we shouldn't look at this verse and we shouldn't be generous because once we're generous, then we receive. That is from a selfish mindset, and that's from a heart of selfishness. But when we do give freely and when we are generous, God opens the doors of heaven and we are able to receive the blessings that God has stored up from us. That shouldn't be our focus, but that is a reward that we do reap from being generous. But here's the thing, is that when we receive those blessings, we don't receive them out of want. We receive them out of a heart posture of doing good and looking beyond ourselves and to the needs and wants of God's people. And finally, number 5, be okay with receiving. Practice receiving. And here's why. Be okay with receiving as you are with giving. Withholding your hand when someone wants to be generous towards you is robbing them of practicing selflessness, just like you are practicing selflessness. So back in when I was in my previous relationship, I had a really hard time receiving words of affirmation, and I had a really hard time receiving gifts. My partner's love language in the love language that she liked to give was in gift giving and was in words of affirmation. She loved giving me words of affirmation and she loved gift giving. But I had a problem receiving those gifts, and I had a problem of receiving those words of affirmation. That was robbing her of practicing the love languages that she loved to do for others. And I think that honestly was one of the big things that suffered in our relationship, was showing love to each other, because I couldn't receive her love in that way that she loved to give, and she had a hard time giving those things because I had a hard time receiving. So withholding your hand from receiving from another person who's wanting to be generous towards you is robbing them of practicing selflessness. And then it causes them to be insecure, and that refocuses the attention on others and refocuses the attention on themselves, because now they're insecure and now they're looking inwardly again instead of looking outwardly. So I know sometimes it's hard, especially for us Christians, to also practice receiving, because we're always taught give generously, give out of your overflow. Give even sometimes when we don't have anything to give, but give in our little, give from the little that we have. And sometimes we forget to practice receiving as well, being able to receive openly when someone wants to be generous towards us. The next time someone offers to buy you coffee, or sometimes the next time that someone offers to buy you lunch, say yes, say okay. even if you're on like a getting to know you meet up with someone, and you want to be the person that pays. If they offer first, don't argue, receive, and practice that. That gives them the opportunity to be able to practice generosity. Anyways, guys, that was pretty much what I had for this first episode of the year. I think that throughout this year, we should be practicing this practice of selflessness and the reward and the benefits that come with it. Sometimes when we take the focus off of ourselves and we focus on the people and the needs and the wants of others around us, we can, through this perspective, this new perspective, we can finally see the heart of God in a more clearer picture. The heart of God is for the people, but also the heart of God is for the one. And yes, in certain circumstances, you might be that one. You might be that one that is needy, that is wanting something, and God will send someone to feed that need for you, because He is a good Father, and He blesses those that He loves. But also, His heart is for the people, and that means more than just a church. It means, when He means His people, He means believers and unbelievers. His people are the lost. His people are the broken. And when we take our focus off of ourselves, He can use us even in our broken selves. He can use broken vessels to fill and repair other vessels. And so when we take our focus off of ourselves, we can allow God and the Holy Spirit to use us to fulfill His promise and to fulfill His love, His mercy, and His grace upon other people and other people's life. Amen? All right, guys. This has been a good episode, and I'm going to leave it here. In the meantime, stay blessed, stay humble, stay true to the gospel, and go ahead and practice selflessness this year. In Jesus' name. Peace.